Ah! What is going on? Who am I? What is my purpose? I am born. This body is too puny. Needs more muscles. Come on, belly!
Just a little bit of humor to start this one off with. We are here to celebrate the birthday of an incredible man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is 77 years old today. So, to celebrate such a prestigious event, we are going to take a look at the life of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold, this is your life. And it all began back in 1947, July 30th, of course. In this picture, I believe Arnold to be 6 months old. Ah, come on, Mom. Give me a snack. Give me something. He's probably a whiny little baby, more than likely. He grew into a mature young man. I think this picture here is from 1958, if I'm not mistaken. He's probably around 10 years old, just a boy getting his lessons before he started lifting weights. And when he did begin, his body responded very rapidly. I believe this is from an earlier on photo shoot from Arnold. There's several poses that he hit. He must not have been any older than 15 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section below. If anybody can help us out on the whereabouts of these photos here. Now this is from perhaps his earliest competition, and I believe it was in 1964. And there is several photos of Arnold. It's kind of funny seeing Arnold here, and he was maybe 17 years old. So even at 17 years old, for any today or back then, any age, this was a pretty incredible development. Now, all the while, Arnold competed in weightlifting competitions as early as 1963, I believe, up until almost 1970, if not 1970. So it wasn't just bodybuilding, but of course, first and foremost, Arnold improved that physique year after year. And competition after competition, you can see there, 1965. So what is he here? 18 years old? Very impressive. You could use his hairstyle. You can see him here. You can kind of use his hairstyle to map out what year the picture was. And this is definitely earlier on. He had a lot of Brill cream. You guys know who that is beside him? That's Serge Nubret. And I'm no scientician, but it looks like to me Serge Nubret has an Arnold Schwarzenegger like chest before Arnold had it. So who do you think Arnold learned how to train to get those big pecs? Huh? Like I said, no scientician, but I definitely think that he learned a lot from Serge. Now, I believe this is 1965 when Arnold won the Mr. Europe competition. A lot of these pictures I'm not positive of, but ones like this, we know for sure. This was, in fact, 1966. You can see Chet Yorton, old Chester Yorton. He defeated Arnold, and I'm sure that was a thorn in Arnold's side, as he never did avenge that loss to Chet Yorton. 1967, here is Arnold standing next to, guess who? Guess who? Dennis Tinerino. Also 1967, Arnold at the Mr. Universe, 1967 Universe. And Bill Pearl won the pro, and Arnold won the amateur. So he was definitely growing in size, substance as well. 1968, he was even bigger. But if you ask me, he was a little bit too smooth, Monsoon. Definitely a little too smooth to defeat the likes of Frank Zane. This is the year Frank Zane beat him, 1968. It's the last time Zane. Here is 1969, and the dude beside Arnold, one of the great ones, that's Rick Wayne. Food for thought. Rick Wayne was one heck of a singer. He could sing. Isn't that funny? Here's a better shot of Arnold from 1969. And his looks rapidly changed here. Looked like he had the eye of the tiger. He meant business. I think he was embarrassed from that loss. Frank Zane. And his physique matured, yes, but his hair went through some stages. So all of night earlier on in 1969 to the later stages of that year, I think that good old Joe Weider, he was he was grooming him to be the champion. But his hairdo, he wanted him to look like him. So I think he got a Joe Weider hair for a spell. Still a little bit smoother than he did get his physique. Here's at the Olympia that year, 1969. So his looks had matured, his physique matured. He was getting more polish on that physique. Of course, he did place second. But the thing of it is, after the 1969 Mr. Olympia event, Arnold only ever received first place finishes on the bodybuilding stage. Like here at the Mr. Universe competition, the NABA Universe, 1970. Look at the improvements Arnold made from 1969 to 1970. Unbelievable. Here is a picture of him from the Olympia that year. And I don't know, he looked better at the Universe, but what can we tell from this one little snapshot in time? Now, this one here, if I had to guess, I would say 1971, judging by his physique, judging by his hairstyle, but I can't be too sure. 1971 Olympia, however, he looked better than he ever looked, for the time, I should say. But yes, 1971, he had improved yet again, and like I said, for his time, this was the greatest physique that he ever displayed. 1972, and we're not really getting into this critiquing of his physique. We're just showing the differences, the evolution of Arnold Schwarzenegger. But we all know, the diehards anyway, he wasn't quite as sharp. 1972, was he? 1973, he bounced back. Condition-wise, he looked just like 1971 with some probably added size. So 1973, some may argue his very best period. And of course, the remainder of the people, the majority of the Arnold fans would say 1974 was his ultimate best. Look at him here. He is jacked. And I'm talking jacked. When's this picture from? Is this earlier on in Arnold's career? I don't know when this year's from. And then there's a stash Arnold. He has a stash. Is this 74? Could be earlier. Could be later. And I found this photo very interesting as well. It looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger at his all-time peak, all-time best in terms of conditioning, proportions. Is it 73? Is it 74? Could it be 75? I don't think so. But to be honest, I believe all these famous photo shoot pictures, there's a lot of them. And Arnold is looking at his very best in some of these shots. Unbelievable, to be honest. I believe that they are all from his prep for 1974. Really, truly hard to say. We do know that Arnold did look tremendous on stage, making Lou Ferrigno look small, at least in the muscle department. Sorry, Lou. Look at the size of Arnold's legs here. As Ben Weider, I think that is, raises his hand, 1974. Now, note the size of the legs. Watch this. 1975, the following year, pumping iron. He was going to retire, guys, and that's why he was way down in leg size at the 1975. But if it was just pumping iron you watched, you didn't know about 74, you probably wouldn't have noticed. Too bad, because his arms and his condition, his overall condition, and those bicep peaks might have been their all-time best in 1975. I don't hate the 75 Arnold. I don't think any of us do. Here is the Oak after he retired from competitive bodybuilding, but it is plain to see that he continued cranking those weights. I mean, this is a pretty impressive physique for a non-competitive bodybuilder. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is 1976, if not 1977. Here he is at some tennis tournament. Now, this was 1977. And if I'm not mistaken, looks like he has a bit of a man boob. Actually, no. Here he is just standing there. I think the cameraman, he got him right on mid-bounce. So one of his big meaty pecs bounced down. That's all it was. The funny thing is about this tournament, this so-called celebrity tennis tournament, this is where he met Maria! Look at him here, sniffing around Maria. This is earlier on at some party or something that they had. So, yes, he was sniffing around Maria. 1978. This is just a little after that tournament when they very first met. Come on, Maria. Come in my car. We go now. I can't, Arnold. Not until we're married. Oh, come on. You'll see. I think this snapshot of Arnold is 1979. Could be later 78. This is weird. You see this version of Arnold? This is like some sort of other dimension where Arnold never got into weightlifting. He's just some guy working at a convenience store. Hello, may I help you? Yes, I am just a nice guy. Anything you'd like. I am here. I'm a doormat. It's just weird. It's odd seeing Arnold like this. Now here's Arnold, 79. He had the long hair. He was on the Johnny Carson show. It was Johnny Carson, wasn't it? Yeah. He had the long hair because he was training for the movie Conan. But the funny thing is, they delayed the filming of it. So what did he do with this long, luxurious hair that he worked so hard for? Well, he chopped it off. Because in 1980, he jumped back on the competitive stage, and he was in pretty darn good shape, if you ask me. And he won. He won being in great shape. Of course, the bodybuilding world had evolved since the 70s, but we don't really need to get into that. This is the celebration of Arnold's career. If you believe there was politics, things of that nature, then go ahead and comment in the comments below. But, for a guy that hadn't competed in 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. He looked like he was in pretty good shape here in 1980, guys. He was. Here he is, 1981, to agitate you politic guys even further. 1981. Oh, come on. He is still smiling. 1982, Conan the Barbarian was released, and it was a smash hit. You'll notice Arnold could have been a little bit more ripped. I think that was because he just competed 1 year prior, so he was depleted, and then it took him a while to bulk back up. Either way, he did another Conan just 2 years after, and he was in much better condition. You see that? So yeah, he had more time to prepare, I think, his physique anyway, for the role of Conan the Destroyer. Of course, in between Conans, he would always take the time to go to a wrestling match from time to time with Andre the Giant. Come on, Andre. Come on, Arnold. Let's go. I will pay. I'll pay. Isn't that funny, though? Arnold and Andre, they were actual friends. Friends. That's neat. Now, it's hard to tell from this picture of Arnold, 1985's Commando, but his face was kind of evolving. Not only that, but his hairpiece. He lost his little curls that he was working on. Now, all the while, he went and got himself married. I guess he couldn't hold out any longer for that sweet Maria. Come on, Maria, let us get married. So he had that crew cut. He had a buzz cut. And I think he had his honeymoon during the making of Predator. Right? Maybe not. But yes, he was pretty jacked here in 1987's Predator. 1988, Red Heat? I get this confused with Raw Deal. This is Red Heat. Had to blank out some Napoleons there on the back. But anyway, Arnold's still pretty jacked here. And he still had the buzz cut, a little bit longer though. And then it happened. Arnold entered the 1990s, and his face changed. He looked like a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. This is from Total Recall, I think. One of my favorites, Total Recall. 1991, Arnold would reprise the role of the Terminator. He originally starred in the 1984, I believe it was, Terminator 1. I didn't really mention that. I guess I should have. But yes, Terminator 2, a much better film, taking nothing away from the original. But this movie here put Arnold in a special, different category. He was a action super duper superstar, to say the very least. And man, when he went down into that lava. Wow. Unbelievable. I think this is from Last Action Hero, which was 1993. So you can see what I mean by that. I'm a nice guy. He has that nice guy look, and he had that look for the rest of the 90s. This is from True Lies, and man, oh man, I remember the first time I watched this movie. I was with a girl. Ah, memories, summer nights. But anyway, yes, a very cool movie nonetheless. Arnold's looks evolved very rapidly, I think, at this point. This is from 1996's Eraser, if I'm not mistaken. And now watch this. Just a few years later. This is End of Days. His looks were changing. You have to give old Arnie credit where credit is due. In 2003's Terminator 3, he really improved his physique. So whether it was a lot of makeup, maybe some computer enhancements, things of that nature to improve his physique, but either which way, I just think that he was in pretty darn good shape. And then he did it. He went into politics. Now, Arnold, 2003, from 2003, I think he stayed into politics till like 2010 or 11 or something of that nature. But in this span of time, his looks, you see that? You know what I think. Conspiracy. I think he was switched. This is not the same Arnold that we know and love. But of course, the truth is, he was just no spring chicken. He was old, with all due respect. Arnold aged quite gracefully, to be honest. Considering that picture of Terminator 3, he was 56 years old. So you see these pictures of Arnold, and they say, oh, Arnold's out of shape. I mean, this is a 60-some-year-old man. You got to give him credit. I mean, he still has a lot of muscle. And with politics seemingly behind him, well, at least he was not the governor anymore. He went back to the movies. This is him in 2012. Expendables 2. So, they throw him on a little bit of makeup, make me look young again. You see him on the street, he kind of just looked like this. So yes, he has aged, but like I said, guys, he has aged quite gracefully, considering that he is absolutely no spring chicken. Here he is taking some selfies. Now, what year is this? 2014, if I'm not mistaken? Doesn't look too bad. Not bad at all. So, 2014, he'd be 67? So, 67 years old. Pretty good shape. This is from one of the latest Terminators. They make one every year. I don't know if they made a new one after this. Terminator Genesis, baby, please. Here he is, 2019. So this is fairly recent, just a few years back. Well, 2019 would be 5 years ago now. So yes, Arnold, what did you do? Arnold got himself into a little bit of a car accident. Ha! He's driving a great big SUV, drove right over the girl's car, for goodness sakes. You know, it's funny, he's always preaching about, you know, you'll buy these cars with the lower gas emissions. Now give me my Hummer. Hilarious, hilarious. We love you, Arnold. We love you. And I guess on that note, we will end this video tribute to the birthday boy himself. It's somebody's birthday, I wonder who. It's somebody's birthday, he's right near you. Come on. 77. So, when you see those pictures of Arnold, and they say, look, he's flabby now, or he's out of shape now. He's not out of shape. 3 years, he'll be an 80-year-old man. So this is a pretty impressive dude. Happy birthday, Arnold. 77. You look pretty fantastic. And that's his favorite word, fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This nice little tribute to Arnold. And I'm sure most of you guys will go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you have not already, please subscribe to that channel. Each and every subscriber, each every view, thumbs up. It all helps. Have a great one, guys.